to another story time with Kidzone. Before we get into it, let's give God a little bit of praise and worship. Did y'all enjoy that praise and worship? Well, I hope you did. We always must give God all the praise and all the glory, amen, because he deserves it all. Now, on last Saturday, if you remember, we talked about a man named Samson. So now it is pop quiz time. So, what gift did God give to Samson? Strength from his hair. Who was Samson's enemies? The Philistines. Who tricked him and betrayed him? Delilah. And how did Samson receive his gift back? He prayed to God one last time to regain his strength. Good job. Give yourself a hand clap of praise. So this story time today, guys, we're going to be talking about Jonah and the giant fish and where disobedient could land you. Let's get into it. One day, God told a man called Jonah, go to Azariah to the capital city of Nineveh. Tell the wicked people there about me and make sure they change their sinful ways." Now, Jonah didn't care for these people and wasn't much bothered if they find out about God or not. So apparently he didn't care. He also didn't like the sound of walking into the capital city of a powerful, warlike nation and telling the people what they were doing wrong. So apparently he was a little bit afraid. So Jonah got on a boat in the opposite direction to Nineveh, heading for Spain. As soon as the ship was on its way, God sent a mighty storm its way. The sailors were terrified and began praying to be saved. Still the rain lashed the boat and the wind and waves hurled it. Still the rain lashed the boat and the wind and waves hurled it this way and that way. Then the sailors decided that someone on board must be cursed. They drew lots and came up with Jonah's name. Shamefully, Jonah confessed that he was disobeying God by being on the boat. "You'll have to throw me overboard," he wept. "It's the only way you'll get this storm to stop." The sailors were horrified and did their best to row to shore. But when the storm grew even worse, they concluded there was only one thing for it, and dropped Jonah into the water. The minute they did so, the wind dropped, the rain stopped, the waves died away, and the ship was saved. God saved Jonah too. Instead of letting him sink and drown, he sent a massive fish that swallowed him. For 3 days, Jonah wallowed in the stinky darkness of the fish's belly, praying to God for another chance. Finally, to his relief, the fish spat him out onto a sandy shore. "Go to Nineveh," God said again, "and give the people my message. If they don't change their behavior, I will destroy the city after 40 days. This time, Jonah did what he was told, and I bet you he did. To his immense surprise, the Azarians listened. The king of Nineveh believed God's threat and ordered his people to mend their ways. Soon, there was a drop in crime. People started being more polite and kind to each other. They prayed for forgiveness and fasted and started worshiping God. The 40 days came and went, and God left the city and its people untouched. Jonah stumped off on his own into the countryside. "I knew this would happen," he moaned to God, sitting down in protest. "I've come all this way, nearly drowned, been eaten by a fish, then walked for miles to face crowds of hostile strangers, and all for nothing? You haven't punished anyone or destroyed anything at all." God decided to teach the angry man a lesson. He made a tree shoot up swiftly right where Jonah was sitting, so all day he could rest in its cool shade. However, the next day, God sent insects to eat the tree, so it shriveled and died, leaving Jonah sitting in the blazing sun. God also sent desert wind to roast him. "If only my poor tree hadn't died." Jonah groaned. "Well," said God kindly, "if you're upset about a tree that you neither planted nor looked after, how upset do you think I would have been if the city of Nineveh had been lost?" 120,000 people lived there, not to mention all the animals. And Jonah finally understood that God cared for all people, not just the Israelites, and for animals too. After all, had God made them in the first place? So Jonah decided to be disobedient by not wanting to go to Nineveh because he was afraid on how they would react to his command. But after all, Nineveh, they listened to him and followed God's order. So Jonah's trip would have been so much easier if he would just have been obedient to God's will in the first place. So kiddos, make sure you being obedient to God and your parents to just listen and follow the instructions that are given to you. Amen. So I hope you guys like this story. Make sure to leave your comment down below, like and subscribe. And until next time, kiddos, bye.